So another really cool feature that Procreate has is the time-lapse feature. This is something that's built into all paintings as long as you have it turned on, and it makes it really easy to turn whatever painting you did into video content. So this here is a painting that my little brother did, and then I did a critique and a paint over of it um, to show him, how he could improve it and stuff like that for my YouTube channel. So we can go ahead, if we come up here to our actions menu and click on the wrench and come over to our video tab, there's this little switch that says time-lapse recording right here. We can turn that on and off. We don't want to do this, so it says, if I turn it off, it says purge video. Do you want to delete existing recorded video? This cannot be undone. I'm gonna not purge it. I don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna hit the X and undo that. And if we come up here, I should tell you what I'm doing really quick. If we come up here and hit time-lapse replay, it's going to show us the replay of the entire drawing from the very beginning. So he started with a sketch that he had done on a piece of paper, and then he took a photo of it. And so now this is him redrawing it and tracing it out on the iPad. Now, when it does this time-lapse replay, you should keep in mind that it's not recording the drawing in real time per se, and it's not recording it and then speeding it up either. All it's doing is basically taking a photo at each frame state. So every time you do an action and then lift up your stylus and that becomes an action on the canvas, it's basically taking a picture every time that happens and then compiling it all together. So what this means is that it doesn't if you're drawing one long continuous line, it doesn't actually record you drawing that whole entire line. It's not going to record that as a frame state until you lift up your stylus and that becomes permanent. Then it's just going to take what it was like before you drew that line and what it was like after you drew that line and compile that, if that makes sense. So it's not actually recording everything you do, it's just recording each individual stroke and creating a frame in the video out of that. So what that means is it creates a great time lapse automatically and it's pretty fast, but the downside is things like, for example, if you're making adjustments or you're changing hue and saturation, that's going to look like a little tiny blip, not even a second of frame rate because of how fast it's going by. So it's not the best for doing tutorials per se, just because there's some things that go by so quickly. Like you can see right now, some things where he was experimenting are just flashing by so quick you can't even see. So that was his original, and now this is my draw over where I'm kind of giving him some feedback, redefining the anatomy a little bit more so it's a little bit clearer, the muscles and the bone structure and stuff like that. And you can do this, something to keep in mind is that when you're trying to get yourself out there as an artist, you want to try and get as much mileage out of one piece of art as possible. So, selling prints, putting it on Instagram, putting it on Facebook, making a YouTube video out of it, right? The more that you can get, more mileage you can get out of that piece of art, the better. Which is why this tool is really great, because it allows you to do exactly that. Every painting you do, you can now have a time-lapse video that goes right along with it. So another feature where we're watching this, you can see at the very top there's that little blue bar, and that's basically our timeline, right, of how far we are in the video. And if you just slide your finger across the screen, you can scrub through the drawing and it will take you back to wherever you want to be in the image, all the way to the end or the beginning, and you can slide through. So let's scrub ahead a little bit. You can see this is where I'm adding lightning and stuff like that. So it's a really fun, really neat feature. You can export this video and put it on Facebook, wherever you want to put it, save it to your photos, anything like that. And really quick, I'll show you, we'll go over those settings. So there's the video. Now, if you want to turn that off, because it does save, it does take up space on your iPad, right? Like that's a lot of memory to take up if it's creating a video of every painting you do. And if you don't have a lot of space, you can just turn it off by hitting that switch. Now, let's go over to the help icon, and we're going to go down to advanced settings, which is the third option down. And that's going to take us to our settings menu on our actual iPad. And from here, if you see right here at the third menu down, it says palm support level. Right under that, it says time-lapse recording quality. If you tap on that, you can choose the quality. You can either turn off time-lapse recording from here as well as in the app, Or you can just change it to a lower quality. Maybe you don't need it to be taking up that much space. You don't need that high quality of videos. You can lower it down to normal or something else. I like putting it at 4K because I want mine to be really high quality for when I put them on YouTube. But you can select it at whatever you want. Then once you're ready to export, you just tap on share. Or sorry, not share. You go to video. And then underneath start live broadcast, it says export time-lapse video. It'll export that video for you, and you can just save it or share it anywhere else like you would otherwise. Facebook, you can text it to someone, put it in an email or your Google Drive, anything like that, or just save it to your photos. And there you go. The video is now saved. So that's it for this lecture. I'll see you guys in the next one.